Hi there. Yeah, okay, here we are. The video I didn't want to make. Been postponing it and procrastinating. Is there anything happening that can make me not do this video? I would love to see. But nothing has happened, so I keep waking up each morning here. Still, 21 years later. 22 years maybe at this point. How did that happen? How did I let that happen? Why? What is this? I'm tortured. So I'm kind of fed up with that, and maybe I should do like the shrink says and just talk with her about your problems. So I will try. It's gonna come out pretty mangled because it's been quite some time since, and I'm not the note-keeping kind of guy because bad stories like this is just. I'm just so sorry it all happened. And people don't want to talk. Bad things happen. I came back from Oslo in 2003 after I've been there for like maybe 9-10 years. Quite proud of what I've done, even if at the time it was hard to pinpoint exactly. Well, 2 decades later, it's easy to see how big drum and bass has grown from when we in 94, 95 started the first drum and bass monthly in Oslo. Likely one of the first drum and bass regulars in Norway at the time. And I'd also been playing at a couple of the earliest jungle raves, yeah, while it was still jungle. For you who care about that. And also after the 2Ks, we'd been spearheading a sound that around 2006, I believe, turned into dubstep. So those are sounds that it's not the sounds I play the most these days, but I'm really proud of having done what I have done. Whatever you think about the music, I don't think Lars Ulrik of Metallica is embarrassed about being member of Metallica either, and what they have accomplished. So there. So I think I kind of my initial idea was just to be in Oslo for a few months because I had my eyes set on one of the things made me pack up and leave Oslo was I didn't have a regular residency for myself to build a scene or a crowd or whatever. I had been looking for it for quite a while, but just didn't happen. And I think if I had stayed a little longer, that would have happened. But at the same time, I was getting closer, inching closer to 30. And I always wanted to, I remember talking with my parents when I was 17 that, the other kids that get the driver's license for free, sponsored by their parents. You don't have to do that with me. If instead of the driver's license, I can get the money and I can just go abroad, because I really like to go and visit Europe at this moment in time, while it's still peaceful and have some experience under my belt. I really wanted to do that, and of course, having already wanting, set my sight on becoming an artist. None of my parents are boomers. They were born before the war. So it was kind of a big leap I wanted to take, and it was very popular. And when I also proposed to just if I can get some money and just go out and have some experiences, I didn't get the driver's license either. So to present day, I'm still a biker, and that's been keeping me in very good shape. That I can feel what formerly was like an albatross is now really good for me health-wise. So anyway, I didn't get to do that, but I was a couple of years later. I got into an art school in Oslo, so I moved in there in '93, I believe, and yeah, we started playing in the next year, '94. I was picked up because I was selecting some nice records in the shop, and DJ saw it, and they said, "Okay, you can come and play. You picking some cool records." And I get that to present day, and I'm really happy about that. So you can book me if you're interested in good selection of music that's still getting a thumbs up from dealers to this day. Hit at me, and I would appreciate it. I do vinyl, I can do digital controllers too, but please, at the moment, I'm better with vinyl. When I get my own controller setup, stuff like that, somewhere in the future, I can do it digitally as well. No probs. I know how the equipment works, but I like to also have the best selection. All right. So I got work in Oslo then, because I wanted to go to Denmark to a school, and kind of just start doing stuff. In Oslo, I was, as I say, I was getting close to 30, and there's no way. I love this job as a librarian, and I'm well fit for it, because I like to geek out on books, and I like to study history, as you know, and other things as well. And I think that comes through in these videos I'm making when I'm talking. But I was afraid that I was gonna be just another smug, self-satisfied middle-class bloke with no real experience in my life other than sitting behind the desk and talking with lots of foreigners. It's not a bad experience at all, and my boss there was a very good boss. It's one of the best bosses I've had. He talked like 14 languages out of his tongue, and could guess his way to around 50 more. He'd written books about languages, alphabets, and throughout history. If you doubt me, you can hit up Olaf Berggren, Olaf Berggren, and a book called The Kitab, for instance. He was also, while we were working at Tøyen, one day we had we got a visit from Trollhätta. It's a large Norwegian architecture firm. They wanted to meet my boss and proposed, can you join us? We are going to Egypt. We understood you grew up in Alexandria, and we are currently working on building a new library there. So we could use your expertise on certain details about the design. So he went there for a 3-month stay, I think, and we who were left, we switched roles, switched around who was the boss, and I also for a couple of weeks had some charge of the library there. No problem. So, but that's good. That's real world experience, and it also talks some about the capacity that I was surrounded with on the daily, I think. And I hope I reflect that well, even though I cannot so many languages. I can relate to foreign cultures pretty well. It's my estimate from what. Yeah. Okay. So, but then always I never have money. Always I never have money. This here and there, you know. I totally can relate to Tesla when he says that the hardest part of the month is the last 30 days. So, and I didn't get into that school. There's a story in itself. And I didn't have any plan B. And all of a sudden I found I am stranded here in Oslo. I was just going to be here for a couple of months just to get my wits and just, put things in place and, head out again. But none of that happened. I was stuck in a gravity well called Oslo for 12 years. And it's the best and the worst at the same time. Because I didn't want to waste my time, I did get a lot of experience. Not the kind of experiences I wanted, and nothing that could get me, It's frustrating. That's what I'm saying. You see, because while I was a librarian, this is where the details are sketchy, but they didn't want to hire me. How does that work? How does this play in? I'm sorry I don't have the chronology correct here, because there is in Lindesnes there is an article. We are interviewed because we want to defend the tearing down of a very fine old building called Minne that used to be just by the church and the bedehus and the Betania, and in back you see Arneve, the crown of Oslo. Is in a postcard picture that is what you would say is Sørlandsidyll, fjellidyll i Indre Agder in Norwegian. And I'm there with one lady called Arna Berg, who's also wanted to protect the tearing down of that place, and her in-law. And the interviewer asks us, and we get a photo taken. And if you have, access to those archives, you can find Lindesnes, and you can probably search and find the article somewhere there. She says that they are willing to go so far as to go to civil ulydighet to stop the commune from tearing down that building. And I am no longer considered to be a good fit for being a librarian, because I'm one of the people in team Keep Preserve Minne. So there's no need for discussion for the commune because they want to tear it down. So I'm no longer fit to be a librarian because I have the wrong opinion. And I can show you some more examples if I want to about why I think this is the case. But I want to get one detail here. Gosh, you just have to wonder how what goes on in people's heads sometimes. Anna, the old lady of culture who knows a lot about Oslo history, and you know, has always been in Oslo. She's never really been. Maybe when she was younger, she did a little stint like me and got back, and you know, just lived a quiet life, quiet for herself, not in contact with people or yeah, blah blah blah. She says if it really turns sour, we might consider doing civil disobedience to stop them tearing down this place. And I remember at the time that, oh, wow, that's actually a kick-ass idea. I wouldn't dare to consider myself, because I was thinking, me being fresh out of Oslo, saying something radical as that. Since I also been playing at places like Hausmania and Blitz, which are like hangouts for people who disobey society, you could say. It's a breeding nest for civil disobedience, almost. I could. If that had been, you know, the chosen action form, I could have definitely have weighed in with some pretty good strategies in that. The strange thing is, that was not my suggestion, because I know Oslo, and I know Oslo is not for radicals, and out of personal experience, and why would you? It's a civil matter, and it's the commune bought it by taxpayer money, so it's kind of bit ours also. But I didn't want to suggest such a thing, because I wanted to make friends after being in Oslo, and people looking leery-eyed at me, he's some city slicker and blah blah blah. No. When I was in Oslo, how I introduced myself on the daily to people is, I am Audun. Jeg er Audun ifra Åseral. Hei. Jeg er Audun ifra Åseral. Yep. Ja, det er der granitten begynner. Det er der Norges ryggrad begynner. Det er granite, the mother of Norway. It's our spine, and it starts, we are at the amygdala of Norway. It's just where the first heights above 1,000 meters above sea level is in Oslo. So there. Yet, when I read the newspaper a couple of days later, those words are attested to me. And I'm like, I didn't say that. It was Anna who said that. But I remember after the interview, we went to the town hall, and I remember her saying that to the journalist, can you send... And I learned something new there. I learned two new things. I learned two new things. I learned that you can ask the journalist to send over the piece before publishing, so you can read over it and correct any mistakes. And did she put her words to me, or did the journalist do it? I don't know. One thing is clear though, if it had been me, and I hope you can trust me on this, I hope I'm coming through so that clear over the years, that if it had been me proposing that, it is because I had intended to go through with it, and I would have gone through with it. But I had no such intention, and when she proposed it, I was like, okay, well, if she is good with it, let's do that. But that never happened. She played some kind of game. I don't know what. There's so many strange stories. Because she turned her coat to the wind when she could. The mayor himself, who got the petition, which I made in 3 days, we had over 50% of the registered voters in Oslo signing, and if I had some more time, I'm sure I could get it up in 70%. And if we were looking for signatures in favor of tearing down the building, I think I would have less than 10. And here again, also, if you are a mayor who is, you've been airing before you got to mayor, as you were going for vote, that you would go for protecting Minna, and you get the petition that firmly solidifies that if you want to preserve it, you will have the people behind you in this, 100%. And you just dismiss it. One more thing. There were actually quite a few places where I went with the petition where everybody in the house was entirely in favor of the cause, but they didn't want to sign because they had some experience with petitions before, where they would have get problems with the commune, the county later on, because they had the wrong opinion. And I told the people at the town hall as much, that whatever you do with the petition here, I hope you take it seriously. But one thing you cannot disregard is that there were people who wanted to sign on here that didn't, because they were afraid of political repercussions, and we cannot have that. So please don't, whatever you do with the petition, don't disregard this. It's a very serious topic. Guess what? Everything was disregarded, and the petition also was thrown in the garbage can, and they weren't even interested in hearing what we had to say. Mind you, the petition in itself wasn't for that. The petition was, can we please talk about this before we decide upon anything? Am I getting visitors? Oh no. Oh, okay. So it just boggles the mind how people are able to just snake their way out of their own conscience and go 100% for something that people are 100% against. I just wonder what kind of malarkey there is, what that is actually. So repercussions. No, not only was I no longer a librarian, the people they put in. This is very complicated, I tell you. It's very complicated. If you don't know the ins and outs, there's a reason I don't want to talk about it, because it's so complicated and dense material. But it is nevertheless something I have, had to deal with, and really have been suffering quite heavily under. Because when you do such a politically, murky thing, that you backstab your own constituents like that, and you want to turn it into a pig with lipstick, you cannot have any locals in key positions. So when they were making, we are hiring, we need new head of culture for Oslo. Of course, they took in a sweet young lady, straight out of university, not dry behind the ears, and with no, former connections to Oslo at all, and no knowledge. you can go around now and ask and put things on and so on, and because you're not gonna get any complicated questions or anything, because they're just gonna, oh, this is so sweet, and and your husband, who's still a student, he does have no experience from library at all. He can be the new librarian, because we don't want they didn't want me. I guess my experience wasn't heavy enough, and my effort wasn't good enough, or it was probably just my opinion. It was probably just my opinion that mattered. So there I was stuck in this, and for many years, they did so much underhanded things, and I really had to fight for my life, for my reputation, and I think it's still today. People have hit on me because of I'm voicing the opinion of the people at large, and nobody is saying I'm sorry. Sometimes if you think I am uncouth, just remember this is the culture I've grown up in. This is how I've learned that people talk to one another. So if you think I'm being a bit much, respect where I'm coming from. And these days I kind of, okay, I'm gonna start using that tone myself. I don't want to hit on people, but if people don't want to discuss, have a real open discussion. And mind you, they did, as a matter of fact, invite, because of all the commotion we were making. It wasn't only me, but I think I was the only one that was willing to take it to. I took it as like conscientious objector to the whole thing. It was just wrong on so many levels. Would you see there today? It's the shame of Oslo. It's not that I have necessarily so much against modern architecture, but you don't put if you got you don't put an eyesore like from just one of the reasons I moved was I couldn't take cycling past that place that caused me so much misery year after year after year, because people don't want to talk. I couldn't stand it, and in addition to that, I was also expected to kiss their asses because of their position. No. I cannot remember ever having learned anything about you should do this. When I was at school, this was not how we were. We were taught that you don't. Trigger warning. There was like one episode I could probably, if I have a discussion with people, and it would be better if I talk it again. I'm often offering an open discussion, but I don't get any volunteers, so we never get anywhere. This is why I'm making this video, and plus the fact that I'm so fed up of waking up to this nightmare thoughts. year after year. But I know then that the people who say that they have been ousted on political grounds for wanting to right is right and wrong is wrong. When those people are getting ousted, who say it's no joke. And I honestly, I thought that if there's Oslo is a pretty small place. It's like around 900 inhabitants, and most of them are related to each other. It's not good. One of the reasons why I don't like making this video is that I'm probably gonna cause quite a bit of division back home because of this. Let's just let it lie. But time and again, we see that whistleblowers are getting struck down for the wrong reasons, and wrongdoers are promoted for the wrong reasons. We simply cannot have that and consider Norway a well-functioning country when it, even at a level of Oslo, with around 900 inhabitants, most of them related with each other, still do this Machiavellian, attack from the back, and it's not good. This is it's not only in Oslo, it's all over the country, and probably in much of Europe also. But if Norway is going to have this superiority complex that is promoted by the television, the first place to start then is with our own hypocrisy and our own inability to get to express our views without having these awful repercussions. It really is. If you think otherwise, please state so in the comments. I'm always open to a discussion. A principal discussion is good because it makes clarity. So, okay. So kommunen invite to an open panel discussion on the future of minne. Oh, this is good. They didn't invite me to be part of the panel. I thought, no, but this is because I'm still pretty new face in Oslo after I've been away and I've just been back for a couple of 3 years, and there's other people who knows more about the ins and outs. No. It wasn't that. The panel was just yes people, and they were. What we could discuss was what color do we want on this hideous building, this eyesore, and I, in particular, was only allowed to ask one question. And that question could not be that I wouldn't want to answer. That woman who earlier had stabbed me in the back by putting words in my mouth that she herself had said about civil disobedience, she did a filibuster. I think she did a monologue for rambling monologue. Never mind what I'm saying here now, rambling. No, way more rambling for 20 minutes without interruption. What's going on here? Why is she just talking garbage? She was so against this place. Oh, a couple of days later, it turns out that she has being given a position of being junior mayor, viceordfører, hva heter det? Varaordfører. When vice president of Oslo. So she was just a turncoat. And there were some other people also that did good for themselves by just with no big ceremony, just change position, and never mind me. I never got offered anything, so I don't think I would go for the corruption. I think I think they knew that if they ask me, I will just say, "Oh, you trying to bribe me?" Because that's I would be very loud about it, because we cannot have it. We cannot have it. Is that really? Isn't that quite given? We cannot have that level of corruption. They did so many underhanded things, and they did such a bad, really shoddy work on everything about the place. It took them. There's so many stories to this, but in short, I could tell you that we had like a 40-year tradition of bygdeutstilling that was just we who exhibited and volunteer. It was a good tradition with in its prime heyday. It had a lot of visitors, and people loved coming to Oslo to see. That got taken over by the organization, and they ran it for I think 3 years before they went broke. The pictures they had. This is a building to around. Well, they would say like, oh, it was only 35 million, but I think the final price would be somewhere in excess of 50 million. Not a lot of money, but in a local economy, I offered up quite a few alternatives we could try to discuss that would give more bang for the buck, more employment, more culture, more more presence outside of Oslo, so we get growth. But again, I'm not in the funny handshakes club, so what I have to say count? 3 years, and they ran it into the ground. The money they got from this is something I could do in a pinch, but I couldn't do what I done to remedy it. Is that the money they got from selling other people's art, they used to pay their own bills, and they sent a pink slip to the commune about can you pay out the artist? We spent their money. That's a that's a nice deal. If I had done that, I would be arrested, and for good reason. But these people are not arrested. They are just don't talk about this. And all the while I was trying to do my thing. Which is hard enough out there in the boondocks, and people are not, don't appreciate the kind of music I bring to bear. Or my I don't have it. I don't have it. I didn't have anything to. It was so tough, just pushing the ball. I need, but if it stops, everything stops. I remember I was so. I need to keep it rolling. It's so heavy to get, but if it stops, all the years before have just been in vain. And as I said, I'm proud of what I've done over the years. I really am. So why? And I know there is an audience for what I'm doing. Of course there is. It's just that people are just so. everybody else but me. Everybody, if anybody else was doing it, would be the coolest thing since sliced bread. But since it's me and I have the wrong opinion, it's don't look at it. No, don't go visit him. Don't talk with him. Bad people, bad people. Never you mind all the other corruption they've been having a finger in. I don't have to go into it. Maybe somebody else will. Maybe somebody else can speak up for once. Well, how about that? How about that? That would be nice. That would be good. Not to just be the Lone Ranger out there. One time, because okay, I have to find some way. Can we do? So I remember I because I didn't want to exhibit at the place. I didn't want anything to do with it. But they have the money, they have the funding, and if I can. So I remember one year I suggested, what if we do this, make an open workshop thing during the summer, and all the artists of Oslo kind of open their doors, and people can come and visit and see how we work and live, and maybe sell it like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. They took it and I ran with it. The picture I'd given them, which actually got sold also, and I got the money. This was before that. They printed it upside down. Either they don't know what Space Invaders the arcade game is, or they did it deliberately. Either way, these are the people that are employed in local culture. They don't have a clue. Not enough with that. I had made some signs posts because also then I was living at the end of the road, way out of the. Oslo is not on the tourist map as such, unless you have a cabin. But it's not. You cannot drive through there, or you just have to, like so. In a sense, so when tourists come up, it's a good thing. It's hard work to get them up, but I think most people like it. So I made some signposts and also put one up at the junction up to where that was, the House of Culture. Imagine my surprise in the evening when I go there to collect my sign, just to see they torn it to pieces. Oh, this is so encouraging. No, aren't they petty? They have all the money, they have all the resources, they have all they have the whole network of the kommune and fylke behind them. They have to. You mug. We don't want you here. Don't you get it? We don't want you here. We don't want your kind. We don't want. Stop showing that we don't have any clothes. We are the best. Forget the rest. That kind of people, you just get so. What I'm saying, the 3 last years I lived there, I was so fed up. I was so fed up. I felt I was going through Groundhog Day, and especially the last 12 months, I was like, if this continues, I'm going to be as small-minded and miserable as the people I'm trying to, I don't want to get them. I don't want my artistic vision to be one of fueled by bitterness and pettiness and all that. It's not me, but this is why am I just being why are they always clamping down on me, and why do they project what I am, what I think I am, what is my opinion, instead of asking me about my opinion? Why do they hit at me when they cannot, because they run out of argument and they cannot take to lose a discussion? It's for your elucidation. You get a bit wiser. But when you strike people because you run out of arguments, you get more stupid. And at some point you have to, you can't fix stupid. In any case, so I struggled with all that for 12 years, and I believe it also, even if I was fed up, I also had a lot of really good friends that I regret not seeing so much anymore because living too far away. Good friends. Youngsters. They were youngsters, but that was really what... there was not too much going on. Okay, so that and many other stories. I'm sure when I stop the recording here, a well of other stories are coming out. One thing though, whatever it is, what happened was that eventually I moved. I call it a miracle of God. There's a place where I live now, and it kind of encapsulated everything I wanted to do. And it's the end of the road, and there's not a lot of people around that can come and nag and laugh and berate. So you get to work in peace and don't, you're not, I'm not being a nuisance to the people who want to insist on being small-minded and petty. And it's just outside of Oslo, so I guess that's some poetic justice in that. Even though I haven't done, I've still to hit, strike gold, success-wise. I know I've done so much now with so little for so long, over so many years, that I'm really able to pretty much do anything at some point there, and including giving a good, reliable weather forecasts. Oh yeah, there's many more stories. There's many more stories there. Yeah, it's a big well of stories. I moved here with 16,000 in my pocket after everything was paid, and I just started biking and just now I have this place. Now I have the opportunity to live up to my words. So that's what I've been doing ever since, is just living up to my word and keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. It's been very hard at times, living without electricity, altogether for over 3 periods, altogether 4 years combined. It's pretty rough, starting at Utested, Komst, with no startup capital, and I didn't know the people that came to work for me. I'm so glad I dared, because it was a crazy vision, but I did that successfully for 21 months, and when he sold it, who I hired, he was just as happy to see me go as anybody else. And I don't know how radicals are made in this country, but I sincerely think if I had been a bit more stupid or less intelligent and not I can well imagine many of the times that if I didn't have that or I'm prayerful I pray night and day. No, every morning and every night I take some time out for prayer, and I'm so glad I do. I think otherwise either I would have been I just suicided myself out of depression, or I'd done something violent, and both things would have been very understandable, but I never wanted to do that, because then I would just been playing up in their game and give him then, oh yeah, well, that's what we said all along, he's a loose cannon, you cannot trust him, or like, oh, he's so sad he killed himself, but we're so glad he's not around anymore. No. I'm still here and really doing better than ever, glad to say. But I'm still waking up to this bad feeling of, oh, why did that happen? It was so unnecessary, and really let it be some. If you are in a situation where you are against, overwhelming odds, I hope I can lend you some strength from my experiences, and don't let the motherfuckers keep you down. That's. I don't know how to say it politely, but we shall see if I ever return to this topic. But now that I've vented at least some of these stories, if you were one of the people in Oslo who came and listened to me regularly and wonder what happened, I was so fired up about the music, why I stopped playing. Nobody is booking me, and I understand nobody's booking me because nobody knows where I am. Or who I am, and where I am, nobody knows who I am. I have to be in a big city, and you have to be in Oslo. So I cannot be too bitter about it, but some recognition would be nice, of course. Yeah. Okay. Till next time, whatever that will be. Cheers.